I was telling Jay off mic, I was like, look, man, at this point that I'm at in my life, I literally said this 7 seconds ago, so I'm going to re-say it again, and then we can go more into it from there. But I look at relationships as transactional a little bit, right? Where it's like, I'm not going to go out of my way to do something for somebody if we ain't got no history or equity built in the relationship.
Yeah, I think more so like matching energy, right? Like time and effort, which it's like all relationships are transactional. Like if people want to acknowledge that or not, like there's an input, there's an output. You know, of course, there's different levels and variations, but every relationship is, you know, that's the way that it works. Is you do this and I do this, and you're hoping for that reciprocation, which is like a healthy relationship. So I think that, like, you know, when we say like transactional in friendships, it's not in like a tit for tat. I don't think you mean, or do you mean?
No, I think like the relationship it's got to be fruitful.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a tick for tack thing. Like, yo, like fam, like if I go out and do something nice for you, I don't expect you to do something of equal value or monetary or physically, but like, yo, fam, if you don't check in on me,
yeah,
and you don't hit me up, and now in this day and age, I'll adjust that. If you don't send me memes,
yeah, exactly.
I may not respond, dog. Or actually, I do. I respond. I try to respond the most. I hit you up the other day because I was like, yo, I ain't gone a week without talking to her since we've been podding. So I was like, just checking the vibes. Oh, you out? That's cool. I'm glad you know having a great time.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, man, like if you not doing none of them things, then I don't have any animosity because I don't have the energy for it.
You don't have any like stake in the game, right?
Yeah, like my boy was talking. They were arguing in the chat like old times, but it was like a weird old dude argument, right? Because now none of us want to get involved, and I can tell like none of us want to get involved because
everyone's quiet.
We're all doing something though.
Yeah.
Like I'm half paying attention when they arguing, and I was like, yo, this is just like 1/8 of like.
What were they arguing about?
Stupid shit. Like, I don't even remember what it was. It was something dumb. That's how crazy it is. But he hit me on the side with one of the dudes that was arguing. He's like, it's funny how they don't get it. And I'm like, and he probably gonna listen to this. And when I said that, he gonna know who I'm talking about. But he's like, oh, he don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, I was like, he'll get it eventually. I was like, you know, honestly, I ain't got the energy. Like if you got it, bro, you got it. Because if I got 2 hours, I'm not spending them reading every text message.
Yeah.
Right now. Like I can do so much more with my 2 hours, cause like every day I get home at 7.
Wow.
So it's like, yo, if I'm wasting text messages away, I ain't take a shower, I ain't ate, I ain't did all the other shit I need to do. I look up, it's 10 o'clock, and I'm out here arguing with y'all. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I got other things that I would like to do, not better things, but I would like to do in my routine to like get there.
And I've gotten caught up in those back in the day, and those kind of all of a sudden you're sitting in your car and it's been an hour and you're going back and forth and you're like, what am I doing?
It's like a small, when you look, if I'm looking from the moon, this is a crazy ass reference, but like if you like were to put a little pinpoint on where I was in the world and how significant that argument to me was with the whole globe in front of you, you would realize like how fucking ridiculous that sounds. So I say that to say, shout out to my boy Steve. He turned 40.
Happy birthday, Steve.
I ain't seen Steve in like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
But Steve hits me, right? Like he'll send me messages and shit. Steve moved out to Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved. That explains. And then his dad lives out up in North County in Fallbrook or whatever. Big money too. He's a dentist and everything.
Ooh, I'm not at it.
I say that respectfully because
Steve is black, right?
He got a beautiful. I don't know what Steve is.
Oh.
He got like curly hair.
Okay.
And his dad, his last name sounds like Italian, but like his dad looked like Rick Fox, like an older Rick. Older Rick Fox is older. He looked like Rick Fox now, and so I just don't know, right? Yeah. Like who is who, and so, but his dad can cook his ass off. He made like 3 different like burn styles of steaks. He's like, you want medium well? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my medium well. And he made some medium rares, and they had the crisp to him. Like I was like, yo, you different, bro.
You know.
And then it was a great little get together though. But I use that story in regards to Steve because it's like you hit me up so much, bro, that like I can come hang.
Yeah.
And for your 40th birthday, that's worth me doing this hour drive. Like, he usually do Super Bowl parties and stuff, but my aunt usually, Alonzo's mom usually has, like, Super Bowl stuff, so I go to their house. Because I don't see them during, like, summer and fall. Like, we usually link back up, like, during the holiday
season.
Yeah, so, like, by that time, we on a roll. Because now we went Thanksgiving, Christmas,
exactly.
Super Bowl is the last thing that we get together on in February, and then I won't see them again
until the fall season again.
Until the fall season again. That's just been the trend since I got out of high school. I seen a report though that said that like family that shit crazy, that family reunions among black people are down 40%, and a lot of them were saying that
why?
Because when their grandparents passed away, that nobody was keeping the family together. But you know what? I can see. I can see how you can get caught up. Like as a 30-year-old man, like, and people in their 40s and 50s, if your kids is off doing, like, if everybody got kids and they all doing individual things, it's odd. And white people ain't got cousins anyway. I know that's a joke. I ain't never heard them say I'm going to my cousin's house, really, unless they hood babies, other than that, like, I don't hear, like, normal everyday white people talking about, I spent the night at my cousin Jacob's house, like, but, yeah, man, like the relationship just has to have some type of emotional equity to it, like, I bring Jonah up all the time, but, like, we don't have very thorough conversations, but I ain't got nothing but love for Jonah. So I don't say nothing negative about him, and I barely met Jonah maybe about 3-4 years ago. You know what I mean? But we still check in. He check in with me like on some pod shit. Yeah. But like my boy Duran, like I barely see him, but I talk to him on the phone. I saw him more times this weekend than I've seen him in the last 3 years.
And you know what I'll say, like, to speak to like a Jonah, like, he is really good at, like, reciprocating the energy. Yeah. Like, he'll respond, he'll reach out. Like, I think even, like, I had teased him because he had left me on red and he was dealing with, like, a family crisis. And I was like, oh, my bad. Like, but he was like, no, my bad. Like, I didn't mean to leave you hanging. Like, so when you have somebody who is, like, making the effort and matching that same level of, correspondence, then I think that's when you're able to maintain a relationship versus like someone who's just popping in and out, or only popping in when there's a crisis or something's going down or they need help, or you know what I mean.
Right. And even then, like, that's what it's funny you said that, because I was like, there's not a lot of people that can knock me off my pivot for the day. You know what I mean?
Like, hey, I need your help right now. And you just drop everything.
It's funny you said that, because like a guy that I met through like some golf shit, but it turns out I won't get into that relationship on here. But like me and him are cool, and he ends up like he's married to a woman that I used to work with, but there's some history, not in regards to me, but like somebody that I know. And everything else. So like, I don't think I've ever talked to him about it. Okay. Shout out to him not listening to this pod, because I would have never said it if I knew he did. But like
everyone knows he knows the history, or he has no idea.
I think he may know of said gentleman.
And both, it's just unspoken.
I don't know if she ever brought that up.
Okay, but he may know.
She and I have not spoken about it, because they've been together I've known him for about 2-3 years. Yeah. And they've been together for a while and shit. And like, I done gone to they got a kid now.
Yeah, everything's unspoken.
For what?
Yeah, we ain't talking about.
What the fuck I gotta say here? Like, y'all look happy right now.
I was about to say, y'all look like a happy family.
Anything I gotta say is fucking trauma. You want to hear about your girl's receipts, like and we cool. It's an odd thing when you get old.
That's crazy that she never said nothing to you though. Like don't say nothing to my man.
No, I think I think that
she understood.
See, that's the thing. Like, people used to get on me for like this pod and feel like I air shit out, like if I got on here, but I ain't never did no shit like that. Yeah. Like right now, like I'm like, it's been 9 years, dog. Like, you ain't heard nothing crazy from me, like in terms of like ruining homes and all that other shit. Yeah. But me and him, like, we've never talked about that shit. Okay. But me and him are cool. Yeah. But he called me. That's what I was saying. Oh, okay. He called me.
And you golf sometimes together?
Yeah. Okay. Or we go eat. Oh. I told said person, I'll tell you off the mic who it is, but I told said person about it just to be like, hey, like, look, man.
This is kind of my homie now.
We were sitting in a golf cart, and by the fourth hole, he stated, like, who he was dating. And I was like, oh shit, she used to work, where I'm at. And he was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, all right, from this moment on, I'm good. But by the fourth hole, we had already established male bonding. We've been sitting down for like an hour and a half together.
Yeah.
That's a cool motherfucker right here.
You
I
made
was like,
bestie.
I don't want to not be his friend because of history.
Yeah.
So he called me, though, he was at the airport, and I guess he missed his flight.
Damn.
So, like, she went back to go fly with their kid to wherever they from. So he hit me. He's like, hey, man, where you at right now? I'm like, dog, I'm at work. It was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, bro, like, when I'm there, too, I'll be there. Like, I'll be lost in the sauce. And so he was like, man, I need to ride, like, back home or whatever to the airport. And then, like, I took a minute to get back to him. He's like, nah, I figured it out. I was like, cool, because I probably would have did it.
Yeah.
But, like, fuck, man, you ain't got no other friends? Like, why you gotta hit me and put me in this predicament and check where our relationship equity is? Take an Uber.
You don't got any other friends?
Man, I swear to God, as dickholish as that sounds, man. Like,
take an Uber. I ain't got no Uber money, Carl. That's what I'm calling you.
They are married. If you get on the plane, you got Uber money. You shouldn't be going on vacation, bro.
That's why I stopped going on vacation.
That's a real thing,
I was like, I'm done. I will never go on vacation again until I'm not pinching pennies.
I go to court tomorrow. I'm going to find out how broke I'm about to be for the rest of, like, the next 2 or 3 years.
Wait, what do you mean? Why are you going to be broke?
I got to sue that contractor dude that came out. Slam shut fucking case, too. Shout out to the Contractors Licensing Board of California. I hit them up. We opened an investigation. I gave them all the info they needed, screenshots and shit. And they suspended dude's license, so now I can take that information into court with me tomorrow. Big snitching to get my money back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like, and the funny part is that we haven't received anything from this dude. So it's like you keep playing, but it's like it's on you then, bro. It's your business. When people look it up or whatever, you can never pay me or whatever. Or if you ever get a job, they're gonna garnish your wages because I'm gonna keep on your ass. So I submitted all them documents. Shit, my documents was like 80 pages worth of documents.
Right.
Like I'm not.
My evidence.
Yeah, I'm not for play, man. And my evidence is like sound.
Yeah.
like I do this. Like I go to court and I prepare people for court for a living. And this is the first time ever suing somebody. That's never been like my forte or whatever. But like I got family now. So if you taking money out of my kid's mouth, fam, man, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Exactly.
So I got trial tomorrow or today, whenever y'all hear this, or Monday at 1:30. So I'm gonna take the day off and then I'm gonna go handle that shit. And once that shit's over with, I'll see what my terms are. I'll tell y'all what the story was if we still got pod time. But,
right. You have a lawyer though, right?
No, because the small claims court, you can do that shit up to like $12,000.
Okay.
So my shit was $5,000.
Okay.
And so I was like, you don't need no attorney or nothing like that. You bring in the evidence. Like I said, with the licensing board, that brings a little bit more legitimate shit because he ain't never answered the phone.
He tried to avoid.
Yeah, and the funny part is the dude Steve I brought up, that was the last time I had talked to Steve because I found out, see, some of y'all don't know, I be finding y'all. But dude knows Steve. And so I asked Steve, I was like, how you know this dude randomly, right? And Steve was like, oh, some industry shit. Like, he was... working downtown for a little bit, and I think I met him on that type of shit. He's like, I don't really know, bro.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, okay. But I was just checking the temperature. I know where bro live at. I know all that info, right?
Right.
Because you know where I live at, so you're not going to have the upper hand on me. So, and matter of fact, on some other shit, like I had seen, because I found out a lot of info. I had seen they trucks at one of our little travel ball practices where we was at. And I think it was his pops. And I was like, all right.
Bet.
So now I had seen this online. Now, randomly, I know where this is now because it's deep in Eastlake.
Yep.
So, but all the streets look the same. But, yeah.
You can run, but you can't hide. Carl's on the case.
I'll be in there. And that's the thing. Like, my code switching is like A1.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Like, my slang and how I talk right now is not how you going to get me at when 1:30 hit tomorrow.
Oh, well, you're a golfer, sir.
With tattoos on my hand, you're going to think I'm fresh out.
Yeah.
Call me Law Library. Law Library is in the building, man.
You know how many times I've gone into that law library? I'm like,
That's
I'm
what
ready.
I'm saying. Yeah, because I'm
gotta prepare yourself.
I'm not fucking with y'all, man. All right, man, let's get to it. We there. Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most, normal ass Carl. To my front, I have the one, the woman, the myth, the legend. I'm used to saying the man, myth, the legend.
Right?
The woman, the myth, the legend, Miss Juicy.
Hey.
Jay, shut the fuck up.
DJ Normal Ass Carl in the mix.
I like that.
Yeah, go ahead and put the little flavor on that.
Okay.
Damn. Oh, so you were talking about the club scene.
Oh, yeah. You want me to tell you? Oh,
You gonna tell me now or you want to tell me off, Mike?
No, I want to.
Oh, yeah. This is going into how you been.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this week, it was the day before, I think the day before the 4th of July. I ended up not having all my kids. Like, randomly, my mom said she would take my kids. So I had went to the beach all day, and then I dropped my kids off around 9 o'clock at night. And then my homegirl, she had a class, an acting class, and she was like, you know, we were at the beach earlier, and we were like, let's go downtown and just have a drink.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, we'll see how we feel.
You went at 9 or 10?
I dropped my kids off at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
We didn't get downtown to probably 11, right?
Zombie town around
and
that time.
Yeah, and so I hit up like a
There's
few.
just a lot of lawlessness going down.
Well, it was the quiet before the storm because all of the events were popping off on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I even asked a few of my homeboys that I know are in the industry, like what was popping, and they were like, nah, just go downtown, you know, you'll run into something. So we're like, all right, we'll just go get a drink, keep it low key. So we're walking, it's my friend, the one I showed you, the really pretty, the model girl. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I was with her. So you already know it's gonna be a good night. We're gonna get lots of attention.
Use the other, use the other knob.
This
Turn
one?
it, the one in front of you with the little stars on it.
Yeah, this guy?
No,
this
that
guy.
one. Yeah,
there
turn
we
it.
go.
There we go.
But yeah, no. So we just parked. We started walking, and as we're walking, one of the promo guys, he gets us. He's like, "Hey, where are you guys going?" We're like, "We don't know." He's like, "Well, come through the sidebar." And we're like, "All right, fuck it." So we go to sidebar. It was like a sausage fest up in there.
That's why he tried to recruit you.
No, absolutely. As soon as we were in there, we understood the assignment. But like when I first get in there, you know, I walk in. I love to dance. I go out to dance. Like if I'm going out, it's to dance. Like,
I didn't believe that statement back in the day from women, but I understand it now.
Yeah, like so. I'm not a shy person. I don't need to drink to dance, and I dance all the time.
Right.
So like when I walk in, I'm moving, I'm grooving. My girl, she's a little bit shyer, but she already knows what the deal is when we go out. So she's got her little 2-step in. She gets the first round. And then I'm sitting there, and I look across, and I see my cousin. And I'm like,
one I know?
No.
Okay.
No, not the one you know. My cousin I hadn't seen in a while, and so, but I love his mom. He's a twin, and so his mom, you know, we're twin moms. And so I was like, "What up?" And he was like, "I'm a bartender here." He was like, "I'm off, but I got you." He goes behind the bar, grabs some drinks, grabs some shots. You know, I hadn't eaten all day. I was in the sun.
Oh yeah, he was cooked.
It was.
That's what the young kids say, cooked.
But I was having a good time. So we decided it's at that time, you know, the night where you have to decide, are you committed to where you are? Or do you want to hurry up and dip and try one more or two more places?
Right.
You know, it's that time. It's like we're either going to
It's a
stick.
real thing, like a real pro.
It is. It's like, all right, we're going to stick it out here. Or we want to grab a drink before they call it. So we were like, we had a little game, but we were like, let's move. Let's see what else we can get into.
Right.
So as we're walking, we run into Fat Tuesdays. And there is the finest, oh my goodness, the finest man. First of all the bouncers are very handsome downtown.
He was working.
Yes, he was working.
I thought he was sipping the Fat Tuesday.
he was light skinned. He had like green, blue eyes.
Bobby Womack.
He was tatted, had a little bit curly hair.
Oh, this is Jailbait.
Oh my goodness.
This is Jailbait.
No, great guy, Christian man, God-fearing man.
No. You don't know who Jailbait is? The dude that's
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
He hella looked like
that's
him.
That's what I'm saying. He was talking about Jailbait.
No, he was like 6'3", hella swole. Oh my, Fat Tuesdays, ladies.
It's either that or Dave East I'm thinking of.
Dude, no, he was jail dude for sure. But anyway, so we're talking, we're chatting. He's like, don't even come in here. I be getting real deep and friendly with everybody. I end up hearing all the bouncers' life stories. Anywho, we're going into the next spot. Oh gosh, me and Bree, we ended up meeting these two guys at one of the spots we're at. YNs for sure.
Yeah.
And I thought they were drunk, but I'm pretty sure they were autistic. So I get. My sons are autistic. I'm allowed to say.
I know.
Okay, I'm part of the community, and I don't believe.
Yeah, but you don't need to be spotting them at 26. Like, let them enjoy their
No,
day.
it was great to see. I'm like, I hope my son will be out here one
Let
day.
me connect you with regional center services.
No,
sir.
literally.
Like, did you know that you can get free lunch at 11?
Yeah, we been getting our free lunches too last week, but no. So we ended up. His homeboy ends up. This is not the story, but his homeboy ends up swooping on my homegirl, and they're like hitting it off, and I'm like, you could? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go dance. His friend is like, I'm gonna come dance with you. I'm like, all right, wingman. You know, they're all booed up in the booth.
See,
all right.
That's how y'all be getting them, because y'all be calling the moves out, and they little dumbasses love it. Oh, they know all the moves.
And so
that was in my young ass too when I was a youngin.
We know all the moves. So we go over there, and you know, I mean, I'm not like the best dancer, but I got a little two-step. So I started doing my two-step. When I kid you not, this man started flapping his arms and in the middle, and I like to go right in front of the DJ.
I said this a few pods ago. These young dudes can't dance. I told you that.
I was shook. But then, like, I realized he started marrying me. So, like, I was like, okay, we're going to learn how to. So we did one. Okay. So
Not
we
you
had a
teaching the youth.
No, literally. No, literally.
Not you teaching the youth.
Oh my gosh. Anyways,
that's straight crazy.
We ditched the autistic brothers.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
we ended up going outside to another spot.
Shout out to our autism listeners.
Absolutely.
Autistic
I'm part of the
listeners.
spectrum too, I'm sure of it.
Oh my God, I'm fucking dying.
Oh man, it was
Autistic
crazy.
brothers is
When
crazy.
he said we don't drink, I was like,
Hey, they don't.
not at all. They were
don't.
sober brothers. Anywho, so I ended up. So the whole moral of the story is that let me time out. When me and my now soon-to-be ex-husband got together, he made a rule, and I think I've talked about it on this pod before, that I'm not allowed to fight or intervene in anything going on when we go out. Like if it doesn't directly involve the people we came with, or a friend or a family or somebody I know, he told me I have to mind my business.
That's fair.
Because I'm quick to jump into something.
Social advocate.
Exactly. So I'm very, very quick to hop into things. And, you know, he was like, even before we had our twins, early in our marriage, he was just like, he's seen me in action a few times. And he was like, you need to learn to sit your little ass down.
Right.
After I had the twins, he was like, you know, you're a mother, like times 3 now.
Right.
So, you know, I say that to say I hadn't been out downtown really like on my own without kind of that drunk without him. This is my first time going downtown and getting that faded and not
Without guidance.
Without guidance. There we go. Let's without my leash. Like, let's just be real. Like, and so we're down there and downtown is wild. I'm standing outside talking to, and at this point I had already met like 4 different bouncers at 4 different spots.
I'm telling you, they said it's getting bad down there.
And they was all cool guys. Like I had like brief conversations with all of them. So these are my friends by now. So remember that part. So I'm standing outside talking, and all of a sudden there's just motherfuckers fighting. There's like guys, girls, everybody's just fighting around me. And I'm faded. Like I didn't anticipate getting this drunk. I was in the sun. I didn't eat. I see my cousin. I got free drinks. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? I went on there with the budget.
Right.
And so, but now I'm getting my friends buying rounds. Like, guys are, you know, I'm lit. I'm not like belligerent, but I'm on one good.
Enough to where the world slow down a little bit.
Exactly.
You start observing like these motherfuckers fighting right now.
Exactly. And then I hear, I don't know what, but I hear, and I don't know if it's the damn Love Island, like if mama, you know, I'm a mother, mamacita. Like I hear somebody say, she's a mother. And like that just gets my attention. And there's this Mexican girl and these two, a guy and a girl are like jumping her. And then I hear she's a mother. So I turn around, and right when I turn around, they fucking hit her so hard she dinks her head as she's falling on the side corner of the railing. And so I'm like, oh, and like on my feet, basically. Like, so I'm starting to like, now I'm involved. So now I'm grabbing her up, I'm picking her up, and I'm trying to kind of like brush the guy, because I found out it was brother and sister that are like jumping her.
By her brother and sister?
No. A set of brother and sister.
A set of brother and sister.
And so a different.
They was young too?
All of these people were probably in their mid-20s. And so a different ethnicity.
These are motherfuckers that said they
sister.
don't be out here voting. I was voting in my mid-20s.
Dude.
Just want to say that.
Right.
These young kids is different. Good, keep
Nah,
going.
but they was all little hood. I got little hood vibes from all of them.
Yeah, 30th Street.
You know?
National Avenue, National City, possibly.
Jeez. And so we're...
Chula Vista. I hate to throw that in there. I live in these areas. Let me let you know. So I be seeing them every day.
And that's why that's why we're able to recognize. I grew up in Southeast, South Bay. Like, we know what's up.
I told Jonah, niggas get it too.
Exactly.
I'm equal opportunity employer.
Exactly. And this was half black, half Mexican altercation.
Yeah.
So nobody was on their best behavior. And so he's like, so anyways, they're jumping her, I'm picking her up. And he finally sees me, he feels me, and he turns around and he's like, don't touch my fucking sister. Don't touch my fucking sister. I'm like, bro, I'm not touching your sister. I swear to God, I ain't touched your sister. You guys are fucking her up. Like, I'm picking her up. Something gets his attention. All of a sudden, next thing I know, there's a guy who's trying to grab that Mexican girl that we just saw getting jumped, and he's trying to, like, drag her in the car. And he's like, like, help me, basically. I'm like, okay. So we are trying to, like, we're carrying her by her arms and her legs. She is kicking, screaming, fighting, like she does not want to let go. I'm faded. I don't understand at the time. All I hear is this guy, and I see his girlfriend, and this is their friend. They're like, help us get this bitch in the car. And she's
it was his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend's friend. And so he's like, help me. And the friend was right there too.
Right.
And so she's faded. She's already in the car. So they're trying to get out of here, before the police are here. And they're trying to make sure that they pulled the car up. The car was in the middle of the street.
I was about to say, luckily they got a car. Because sometimes my car be far as fuck downtown.
No, so they had the car. So we're trying to, we're across from the bar. The car's in the middle of the street. We're trying to get her in the car. But this girl is fighting like her life depends on it. Finally, I don't know if he decides fuck it or whatever, but he ends up getting in the driver's seat. I'm stuck holding this woman almost like, who was much taller than me, almost like as an infant, like in that, position where you would hold like a baby.
Yeah.
And I'm literally putting her in the car, and she is like kicking, fighting, and finally she just stops. We both stop, and she looks at me and she goes, they're jumping my man. They said, she's all, please let me go. And as soon as she said that, I immediately let her go. And I looked and I seen where the other guys were. So I'm assuming her man must have been the guy that was getting jumped. So she was trying to she didn't care about saving herself. She was trying to save her man.
Yeah.
So anyways, after all that, I let her go. I come back to the street. And the first thing, all the bouncers, it was in the spots, all right next to each other. All of them, they were like, what were you doing? Because they had just, seen a whole different side of me. We had just had these deep conversations. I'm talking, we're laughing, and then they see me in the middle of a fucking brawl.
Right.
And so they were like, you cannot do that. They were like, you cannot do that. They're like, you don't know what we've seen. We were out here every night. Like, my homegirl was like, when you move to where you're moving, like, they got different gun laws. Like, you don't know anybody. Like,
yeah, she right. Where like, you going and shit, you might want to let that one pass.
And that's what she was saying. I was like, I was like, how am I going to sit and watch this girl get jumped literally on my feet?
Easily. Easily. I'll watch it. Look, Boondocks. There's like a pimp named Slickback. Don't do shit for the homies. I'm not jumping into any fights anymore. I've also realized my lateral movement ain't where it used to be at.
That part.
Some dude was talking shit earlier today. I got up on him. He realized I had some size on me. He didn't know I didn't want no smoke.
Yeah.
I like, bro, you caught me already at a 3 mile walk already.
I'm tired.
I'm beat. Like what you think you gonna get from me? I ain't got that in the tank. 5 years ago, I got that for you. So the shit that they talk about with you, yeah, ain't no way.
Yeah.
And I got other reasons why I don't get involved in that shit. You know what I mean? Because I be doing other people a favor. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, if I get into it, what happens is when the police come, they don't know what's what.
Exactly.
If I was a police officer, you see somebody arguing and shit, you drunk already, even though you're a bystander, they're going to be like, yo, Jay, we're going to have to put you in handcuffs so we get all this sorted out.
Exactly, right in the middle of everything.
Once I realized that shit, I was like, yo, the ignorance of people telling you, like, fuck the police and all this other shit, they got the power of taking away your freedom.
Yeah.
And when you got somewhere to be on Monday... or you got someone to go home to, and it's just you right now. It's like, yo, that shit not fucking worth it. So
exactly. So it was a good reminder of like, you know, making sure that I'm acting right, that I'm, you know, just remembering like, okay, I have to check myself now. Like, there's no one to hold that leash for me. I gotta be a big girl. I gotta be accountable. I gotta be able to reel it back in, and just remembering like that fine line between acting and rushing in, you know, like between doing nothing and maybe doing too much.
I asked this to a girl, actually I was on the golf course and I asked her, I usually go up to the car girls and try to give them a different flavor of not trying to hit on them. Most of them know my wife and shit like that, or they've seen my kids and shit. So I'll be like, look, I know it's a struggle here. We can have an actual conversation.
Yeah.
The reason why I brought this up.
I'm sure they get lots of creeps.
Yeah, easily.
Ugh,
right?
all those old entitled white men.
Never been my bag. Right? The car girls, they got to make money too. They dress for a certain reason just to do what they can do. They, you know, to have it go to a certain point.
Yeah.
These fellas be taking it. But I asked her, I was like, look, if you got $3 million and that $3 million would change your life, right? Obviously, you know, for, you know, anybody that is working a regular job, you know, 9 to 5 or whatever, don't matter what the pay is, you working a regular 9 to 5, you're going to need some type of revenue. Anyway, my point is if you got $3 million, you can either choose between yourself or an orphanage.
Okay.
Who would it go to? And she said, oh, I'd send it to the orphanage. I said, hey, you know, shout out to you. You're probably going to get into heaven, right? Me? I'm taking that $3 million. I said, I can, and you can't just give a portion to the orphanage. Like, they have to go without it. Like, part of the stipulation is it is for you. I said, there's other causes, but I gotta take it. I'm not donating to the orphanage. When I say that, it's like it's either them or me.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much. So when I think about the story that you telling right now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, like, yo, when I think about my own personal safety, like family and all this other shit, it's like, yo, like this shit happens all the time. Whether I was here or not or whatever, this was gonna happen. And then if you found out what they was fighting over,
I know, right?
What if it was gang shit?
And
it could highlight.
Well, the bouncers told me that brother and sister caused problems all the time. I mean, I wasn't trying to help her; I was trying to help the other girl, but still. You definitely have to take things to account. That actually reminds me of a story I've been holding on to, but I wanted to share. But it really impacted my mental health. It happened a few weeks ago when I was still living at the motel. I had went with my grandmother to visit my grandfather up, and he's buried at one of the nice military cemeteries. And so we had went on his death anniversary. So it was me, my grandmother, and her older nephew and his wife. They're like in their 50s. My grandmother's in her 70s. We go there. He's in one of the walls. We're visiting. We're kind of parked near the entrance of the cemetery. And it's only a veteran cemetery. And I see, like, I'm parked across the street near the office. And then my grandmother's parked directly across the way. We can see each other. We're parallel. But I'm saying goodbye to them. I'm putting them in the car. I'm saying goodbye. I'm giving my grandmother a hug. And I look over and I see what I believed was a Latino woman, probably my mom's age. and I see like an officer speaking to her. And I can kind of see out of the corner of my eye, and I don't think any, like, too much of it at first. I'm still saying my goodbyes. My grandmother was leaving from California. She was making the move out. And, you know, so we were saying, like, our goodbye, I'm not going to see you for a little while.
Did she make it?
She did.
Okay.
She made it, and she's out there, and she's already, like, sending me places on Zillow. Sent me a 3-bedroom, 1-car, single-car garage. Dated, but still cute. Guess how much a month?
Shit, probably about 900.
It was 1,600.
100, something.
Yeah.
Even that still, 3 bedrooms. Yeah.
3 bedrooms? Yeah, so she's out there been sending me links. She sent me they have Section 8 out there. So she sent me that link. Their wait list just actually opened in Tampa, not too far from where I'm going to be. So I've been, like, starting to do some of the, you know, transition stuff.
Right.
So anyways, as we're still saying goodbye, I look back and there's like 2, 3, 4 now just like white SUVs, right? And I'm like, and this is like in the height of right when the ICE raids were like really starting. This is a few weeks, maybe a month ago now. And I, you know, my grandmother is Puerto Rican. And her nephew and his wife are Puerto Rican as well. And I'm like, Grandma, and my grandmother is, I don't want to tell y'all, my grandmother is Republican. Mm. And she did, I don't know if she voted this time, but she did vote for Trump the first time.
Right.
Lord help. But that's neither here nor there. But so I'm like, Grandma, I think that's ICE. Like, I think, you know, that woman is like, you know, there's something going on with that woman. I'm like, I think I should go over there and check. If it was me by myself, I would have just went. If I've done that, I've literally like seen people not that long ago, a few months ago in front of my kids' school, there was these 2 young black men that got pulled over and there was a bunch of police over, and I walked up and started videotaping them. Ironically, one of them knew one of the baseball players used to play that. Yeah. So, because he was like, what are you doing here? Me and the cop ended up having a great conversation as I filmed, and, you know, we ended up sharing some common ground. But my point is, it's not like me to not go up and do something. And so, in this moment, my grandmother, she's like, what? My grandmother gets upset. Like, once I say, Grandma, I think that's ICE, we all kind of get, because by now there's like 6 fucking white SUVs. Like, we can see lights. Like, there's a bunch of men out, like, around, and this one woman. And so, like, once I say it, and we kind of realize, like, now we're looking, now we're like, what's happening? And I'm like, Grandma, I think that's ICE. I think I should go over there. My grandmother was like, what the fuck, Jasenia? Mind your fucking business. You know, your tags are expired. You're this, you're that. She's like, you need to get in your fucking car. In fact, and then my Theo, but he's my cousin, but my Theo, he's like, we need to all leave, like, immediately. Like, it became frantic a little bit, the energy.
Right.
And so, like, they get in their car, they wait for me to get in my car, and we drive out of there. But as I'm driving away, Carl, I'm sobbing hysterically. I pull over. I ended up actually calling and talking to Star about this. Mm. It was like, it's something that, because I'm not someone who just walks away and it doesn't bother me. I think, like, that woman will be in my mind and my heart, like, the rest of my life. I feel like I failed her. I felt like I was just a bystander, and I'm constantly, like, encouraging people not to be bystanders. Like, I was just so disappointed that I let my fear take over me in that situation, and not, like, any kind of sense or any kind of, I could have, like, when I spoke, I reached out to Star, I reached out to Jess, I reached out to Brisa, you know, another big advocate here in San Diego, like, and in the moment I was calling people because I was like, I don't know what to do right now.
But you were at a cemetery.
I was at a cemetery, a military cemetery.
But you think they came to pick her up?
It looked like, I don't know. It was, because I seen like one officer and her kind of turn in together. And then she got out of the car and they were talking. And, you know, I wasn't really paying attention.
Got out of what car? Her car?
Her car, yeah.
Wow.
And it was just like a white car, all tinted SUV, you know. And they looked like they were just talking. So as they're talking, we're on the other side of my grandmother's car, you know, and they're across the street. We're on the other side. We can't really see. We're just kind of talking, and in the midst of our saying goodbyes and talking, that's when we're like, oh wait, there's another. Like, I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Why all of a sudden are there so many of these motherfuckers?
Right.
And at the moment I was like, said it, that's when it was like, oh, we gotta go, you know. And so I think that like a combination of everything being heightened, like in the current climate, like a combination of like my grandmother being there with me and me also thinking like, okay, yeah, what am I? I'm not gonna bring no fucking attention over to my grandmother, and like, but I still like in the moment, even when I talk to Star, even when I talk to everyone, you know, they were very reassuring for me because I was like, I had to pull over. I felt like such the biggest hypocrite. I just felt like and I did. I just left. I did exactly what you said. I picked me and my family and my children, and like me being in a tough circumstance. I was still homeless, living at the like motel, didn't know where we were gonna go. Like, I picked us over her, and I don't feel good about it. I didn't want to tell people about it. I feel shame about it, and I understand like.
But what is it about like that feeling that you have?
Because I did nothing. And I always think that you can do something. Like, I could have recorded from a distance. I could have even, like, you know, Brisa and Star, like, shouted out, like, what's your name?
But you were on a military base, though, right?
We weren't on a base. We were just on, I think, the Miramar Cemetery.
But what if they could have been military police, too?
No, they weren't. They were in unmarked, all-white cars. I know what military police, it says it.
No, but, like, they also have unmarked vehicles. I don't think ICE has jurisdiction on like
they're going. What do you jurisdiction
on military like that type of like base.
Well, you don't have to show like it's not a base. Like you don't. Anybody can go there from the public.
Oh, okay.
You just have to be in the military. Yeah, it's not on base.
I don't know. She could have been a high-ranking official lady too. And her husband died in the service.
It was. Nah, it was something.
That's a weird pickup location though. I'm just saying, like I feel like you went way left with ICE. I can go way left when it could be anything. Though.
I don't know. It was just the way it was, like her coming up and him. It seemed like, because it's off a freeway, so it seemed like maybe she was getting pulled over and it was just the first kind of like turn in. You know what I mean? It's not like it was far down. It's like you literally exit and it's, I believe, like the first right off the exit.
Well, you bring up...
and we were right there by the office. Like we weren't deep into the cemetery. We were right where... the entrance, you know.
You bring up a very interesting point, and I think that I guess I'll tie it in together and we'll freestyle from here because I think there's more for me to say on that in regards to what you got. So what I will get into is random shit to fill in time. So recently this week, actually no, we'll say we'll talk about current events. So we'll do current events this week. The president signed in the one big beautiful bill or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, the big bad terrible bill.
Yeah, what don't make it's a 900-page document. I don't have enough legal education to tell you what every single thing of it means, and also it's a bill that you won't know the outlook, you know, what it's gonna actually do until years from now and see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What people are saying is it's gonna add $3 trillion in the debt. But then also, there's been a lot more emphasis on deportation than ICE and all these other things.
It's going to make ICE the largest government agency.
And they're going to start mass hiring people that's on their bullshit to continue to go through. And this is it's been a theme of what we've been talking about over the last month and a half. And I felt like, one, I empathize with your story because there is a helplessness, right?
Yeah.
That I felt that same, let me humanize myself before I go on the tirade, but I felt that same helplessness that you're talking about. And I felt that specifically in November, and I felt it again in January. Where what bothers me the most, right? And I guess this even ties into like, you know, your downtown story where it's like, yo, some of the younger generation we have, the older generation and everything, they just so misinformed. Everybody knows everything, right? The older generation, you know, they want things to go back to how it was, and the younger generation wants the old to accept it and blindly do their own thing. And it's like, yo, that helplessness that you feel, that's why I feel like advocacy is going to have to change in the next 5 to 6 years on what we advocate for, how we educate those. right? So me just turning a blind eye and be like, that's just, Latinos and Asians and Haitian people dealing with that shit right now. I'm born American, 9th generation here, whatever the generation is, I ain't got to worry about it. That's a fucking stupid stance too. Right. And so I feel like I stay informed. I stay reading up on these things. Right. Like certain financial moves that I made in buying my wife a car and myself a car and everything was in anticipation for all of this shit that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Like even all this shit is going to it's just fucking it up. Then you got people, they said that close to 12 million people are going to lose Medicaid.
Yes. And SNAP.
And then Planned Parenthood is about to get defunded and shit. These are a bunch of evangelical Christians that got like a whole new bag. There's a guy that I follow right now that he wasn't on this type of shit 3-4 years ago, right? Golf kid too. I won't say where he's from. But I just starting to notice the shift. And this is the time they actually struck at a very critical point. These Republicans and these types of Republicans and activists and shit on that side, because we're more divided than ever. Right, and they're banking in on that division before we start to get together. They start outcasting trans people, gays again, right? Yeah. I'm starting to see more videos of people getting at lesbians kissing, you know what I mean, in public and stuff, and well,
it's recycled rhetoric. So it's Trump has been planting these seeds, this type of language, calling undocumented people aliens and murderers and rapists.
Migrants is a crazy word to me, and that's a normal term.
Exactly.
It's a normal term. People use the word migrant all the time. And I'm like, yo, that's fucking wild. I would have never said that back then.
And so I think that it's not a brand new sensation. I think it's been planting, and now we're seeing the fruits.
Right. But your type of fighting that you're talking about, I'm not saying that your fight is wrong.
Yeah.
Because if I told you that, then your bucket ain't gonna be filled. Right.
Well, I think
the tools you use in the fight with, you got to find a new set now in this new era. Well, for me,
what I've been talking, and you're right, because me and a lot of other women, specifically mothers, who have been advocates, and people we put ourselves on the front lines. We've done marches, we've done shit like I said, record, stop, intervene, and that was something that Star and I had a great conversation with. She was like, just because you're not on the front lines or you're not in the position or the circumstance to be in the front lines doesn't mean that you can't find your way to contribute. In this
very low risk way too.
Right? Yes. And and there exactly. And there's different ways that we can find in our lane. We need people on the front lines. You need people that are willing to sacrifice their freedom, their body, even their lives. You need people that are in the background scene supporting those people. There's a whole, pyramid of a structure that needs to happen. But I think what can't continue to happen is I can't do anything. So maybe my approach isn't, I highly don't recommend my approach to anybody, especially black, brown people, especially black and brown mothers. However, I would never encourage people not to do anything. We have to find what we can do. So that's where I'm at right now. I can't go run and fucking grab in the middle of the fight anymore. I can't just go and stop in front of police officers or ICE agents. I'm not in that position. My husband's undocumented. What if that fucked up, I just told Carl that he's starting the immigration process next month. So it's but that doesn't dismiss me. That doesn't live me off the hook that I can't do anything. And I think that the more we sit here and try to say, well, what can I do? It's me or them, or even well, they're Haitian, they're not black, or, they're Mexican. There's a divide. And with that mentality, you're feeding into that divide. I'm not saying that black people need to go throw their bodies in front of ICE agents. But what I am saying is this whole well, where were the Latinos for us? And it's not my problem. Well, yeah, we'll see how you feel when you're getting swooped up because you look like you're Haitian. Carl, you look Haitian.
Yeah, but that's a little different fight for someone else on that side. And again, where my stance is.
But what do you mean, like a fight on a different side? If we have 5 black guys, 5 Haitians, 5 black guys, you 10 are standing in a group next to each other. You think ICE is gonna recognize?
I feel like I got enough documentation.
But they're not. But you're living in a fantasy land. They're not asking for documentation. They're snatching people off the fucking streets, throwing them in SUVs, putting them in detention centers. Yeah. There's a whole network of people looking for their loved ones that went missing.
What I think you're coming from, right, is that one, the things that are going on, there's an innate responsibility of I have to do something. And what you're willing to lose and what I'm willing to lose in that, I'm not willing to do that.
And that wasn't my point at all. That's not what I was trying to get across at all.
What are you so upset about, or what grinds your gears about me the most?
And I thought I said that. I said it's the mentality. Yeah, I hear what you're saying about historically what black people have done, and that you did all the things, providing people information to vote correctly, and you put in this work, and et cetera, et cetera. I've heard you and many people say this.
Can we pause real quick? Can I ask you a question based off that? Out of those people, they do the same thing I do?
It's the same exact, like...
No, the rhetoric, but the rhetoric and my work are two different things, right? Their rhetoric and their work, do they match up with where I'm at?
I don't know. I can't say.
And that's where I feel like
these are different. These are different people that are in the community. They have different jobs working with the public. Some people work in social services. Some people work as entrepreneurs. And this is predominantly black people, right? This is a black person conversation, whereas the black community itself is divided. There's a strong part of the black community that feels like you feel. That feels, from what I'm understanding, is we've done the work, we've gone through our own oppression, we've been trying to tell you guys, different cultures, different, Hispanic, Latino, different cultures, and some black people, right? We try to warn you guys, right? And you guys still, let me finish, please. You still voted for this man. And now, what I'm understanding is not that I'm saying I don't care or you don't give a fuck. That isn't what you were saying. I was frustrated in the moment. However, it's like, now you guys got to feel the consequences. You've got to ride it out. And I'm not necessarily so quick, willing, or wanting to jump in and save you because we tried to warn you.
Do you feel like that? Because
is that not am I getting it wrong?
The thought process is absolutely correct. But then my question to you is, right, because now I now know where you're coming from, and I'm not asking you to jump on the train. What I'm saying is that, say with racism, right? They say that if I were to do something outlandish towards white people out of anger of racism, right?
You're done.
Do you blame me or do you blame the oppressor? Right, it's an age-old argument, right? Which this is a concept of why white people have the problem that they have right now.
Is what I was saying is why so many people assimilate.
Right, because they have but then the aggressions of the oppressed is only a byproduct of what they've been going through with the oppressor.
Exactly.
So what we are telling you is, right, as oppressed people, fellow oppressed people,
yes,
right, because there are black and brown issues that have been existing in this country, specifically even in Los Angeles for a long time. If we're telling you as oppressed people, hey, look, man,
we're tired.
We tired, and we've been going through shit, and we're an underrepresented population, specifically in this country, right? That haven't been afforded the same things that other, races have, right? We can get into what bank discrimination and all this other shit is, right?
Mm-hmm,
if we tell you, hey, fam, this may not be the move that you want to make, and we've been underrepresented, we can't necessarily this is where they want us to fight, because we can't necessarily have this rhetoric between both of us, and that's what I'm saying. We have to work together. That's what I'm saying. And finding out a way for people like me, who says the statements that they're saying, and people like you who says and feels the statements and is currently actively going through what we've been going through for a long time as a Latino woman, we have to find a way to do what we just did right now, get over the fucking yelling, and have a consensus of, all right, what the fuck is next?
Yeah.
Right? Because my language and you going out there and putting yourself in harm's way is not going to work. And I gave you a solution. You like, that ain't enough. So then we got to just get some more ideas on the board. That's where I'm at.
No, and I mean, I can appreciate you hearing all that. I think, like, for me, it's just, and I know a lot of black people are going to get mad, and I've had this conversation, but it's not to discredit all of that, because I feel a lot of ways, because the Latino vote came up, it was the same after effect of the oppressor and trying to simulate and trying to do that. For me personally, as a humanitarian, as an advocate for people of many different ethnicities, backgrounds, and for the people that, are like me, like that, we're just, how things are moving right now, we've never seen like this to this degree and as quickly. This man, he just joined office when he get inaugurated.
January.
Yeah, and so we're already seeing these alligator Alcatraz, built in the middle of reserve, so immigrants trying to run get eaten. We're already seeing these illegal mass raids. We're already seeing, the budget shift. And so I think that, like, for me and for the people that share the mindset that I share, that it's like a standpoint. It's like a pause. Have you ever, like, been in, like, a big argument with your wife and, like, a family crisis came up? Like, have you ever been in a big argument with someone and something happened? Somebody died, or somebody's in the hospital, or something more emergent happened. And it's like, you know what? We got to table all of this. Like, it's just a matter of, like, banding together. And so I hear it. And I don't think it's Black people's labor. I don't. But I also do not think that carrying that mentality into the fight that we do need to plan, prep, organize, I just feel like it's a dangerous one, and it does more to divide us. And it does, like I said, like, I know Carl personally, so I know what he's going to do behind the scenes with things he does, but, like, it makes it dangerous for people that don't do shit and then use that rhetoric as
I can see if I did nothing, or if I just said fuck it. And
like,
that's what you
but
were
you see
saying
what
that
I mean?
for
Like,
a while, right?
like
And
a
I was
lot
like,
of people
I'm not
will
saying fuck it though. Like I'm not saying like yo, to hell with this, and I ain't doing shit. There are people that
felt
do
like that though. It felt like you were like,
Yeah, but I mean that's what I was like.
I tried to tell them, and they didn't vote, and now they want us to come and be Captain Save a Ho, and I'm not doing it.
But I'm gonna keep trying. You gotta add to my sins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I continue to bring up said topics on this podcast, to bring awareness, to bridge the gap of that conversation, because you're right. Just saying the negativity of it, I'm putting it out there or whatever, especially if I'm putting it as eloquently as somebody to understand it, and they think that they run with that. Oh, Carl must have did his due diligence or whatever, and what he's saying is, what's actually happening. Nah, that's not it. What it is like, yo, it's fucked up out here, right? It's really bad. And because the same thing that's happened to y'all, the last time we saw this happen, and everybody was saying they glad it wouldn't happen to them, 9/11.
With the Muslims.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And so when you get on a hot seat in this country, a lot of people are like, I'm just glad it ain't us this time. You know what I mean? Because it's wherever they turn their attentions to. You couldn't wear a hijab back then.
Couldn't.
You know what I mean?
You were a terrorist. It was terrible.
So it's like, and that to me was of being of age, of noticing like, oh, this is weird. Like, it ain't, like, usually in the history books, they've been pointing at us, like the ones I've been reading. And now to see it this way, and it's like, I don't know if things necessarily got better other than they just found someone else to get on the hot seat with.
And people are still ignorant and have a lot of anti-hate towards Muslim people. There's still a little bit of that connotation.
Absolutely. And a lot of that shit, like I said, it resurfaces. I think that informing people, right, it starts with knowing your history. It also comes with sorting out facts. And then, like I said, it comes with planning, right? Where my level of planning is, again, I have no problem with what anyone else has to do. Where my level of planning takes me right now is like, yo, we got to push for the midterms, right? If we can flip some of them seats in the House, then that's going to stop him from all the shit he's been doing. All the shit he's been doing right now has been without the House.
Yeah.
It's all been like presidential, like, discretion.
Yeah.
Right? In which no other president has ever done shit like this.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
the
like,
king? What do they call him? King Donald?
So I was like, yo, like, we got to start fighting. And then I don't want whoever's next to come in here thinking that shit is okay.
Exactly.
And so that's where, like,
he's setting like a precedent. How do you say that?
A precedent.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he can scare people. Like, he can't, like, I don't know if anyone else can mobilize people like he do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the hard part. So like it's almost like a storm. Like, when a storm comes, God rest those kids' soul in Texas that lost their lives, right? But there's people in there waiting the storm out.
Yeah.
And that's where that's my
I just
description.
found 2 girls hanging from a tree like 4 hours ago.
Yeah, see, that's crazy work. But my analogy is more so of, like, I'm waiting the storm out. It's a storm that I can't control.
Yeah.
And there's little things I can do to prepare for the storm, right?
Yeah.
And weather that storm. I'm with you. But I have to wait out the larger storm so that I can start to rebuild, right? Like, you see it when tornadoes hit, flash floods, monsoons or whatever. Like, you wait it out and then you rebuild from there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and it's going to get torn down again. But we just keep rebuilding. Why? Because that's life. And that's I wish I was able to get that out before the shit got all fucking heated and everybody's blood pressure went up. But, you know, maybe that needed to be said. You know?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who are going to resonate with you. And then there's going to be some people who are going to resonate with me as far as even just our frustration towards each other in the beginning, you know. But, you know, I will say, like, I didn't mean to bring personal things into something political. I wasn't trying to be a smart ass when I was apologizing.
I wasn't even mad
I
at
don't
that.
think that it felt like you were mad.
No, what I was going on, because
you felt like I was trying to, like, manipulate you. I don't know, but I felt like I was just trying to.
I thought you were upset about well, no, I know you were upset about my position, but there was, even though you understood, there was more added to that. Like, I'm gonna still do the work.
Yeah, but I think
how I do it is just different from how you would do it.
Yeah.
And I don't like what you do, but I ain't gonna fight with you about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like your but see, like, me and your grandma, we look at it completely different, because she believe in a completely different system than I'm with. I'm telling you, though, for a different reason.
Yeah.
She telling you, nah, this is the way shit should be. I'm probably telling you, like, nah, we could change it in a different route.
No, I definitely think that, like I said, at the end of the day, you know, people need to be smart. They need to protect themselves. They need to do what they need to do. I think for me, it's just the main thing is just the way we think and the way we, you know, the way that we think and perceive things, and making sure that we are trying to see to each other as more together than separate.
Absolutely.
You know, regardless of history and all of that. So I think that for me is like, that's the disconnect for me, is like, I get it, but I'm also like, we're here now. Like,
right.
You know, like I
but it ain't over.
No,
like, even though we here, I agree with you. Like, yeah, we are here now, but it ain't.
Well, it's only going to get progressively worse.
And that's the other thing.
I mean, let's
this
be
is
real.
year one.
Yeah.
like,
6 months in.
This is year one. That's where my brain is taking me.
No.
All right, let's switch it up off top. Random. No. Read them and weep. I'm gonna go ahead and switch that up. My bad.
We ain't fought on the pod in a year.
I don't think I fought with you. You used to fight with Lex, and I would laugh. But now the hot seat's on
Lex
me.
wasn't here to take it.
Yeah, he wasn't here. He wasn't here to take the brunt of
He
it.
wasn't here to piss me off.
Am I in the wrong for how I responded when my husband asked me to pay for my stepson's surgery? I've been with my husband for about 5 years. He has a son from his previous marriage. Let's call him Etha, who moved in with us when he was 16. From the start, things were very, very difficult. She spelled Etha, but she went Ethan. Ethan was hostile towards me. He never liked me and kept me at arm's length and constantly hurt my feelings with his mean-spirited, offensive comments about my age or living situation. Aww. He made it clear he didn't want me in his life. While his dad was struggling financially, I offered to help pay for college. But I didn't do this. The way she did this. But I did this because. B.I. is but I now? People
I guess
do that?
so.
But I did this because I want to help. But my husband's response, you can't buy your way into being his mom.
Oh, my.
That hurt a lot. But okay, I respected their choice and didn't push. Recently, Ethan got sick and needs surgery. He's been on meds for 4 months. He reached out to his dad asking for financial help. My husband came to me and asked if I'd be willing to contribute, hoping this might be a chance to rebuild the relationship. I just said no. He said this could be the perfect opportunity to make things right between me and Ethan. I said I won't buy my way into this being his mom. That's you, see? I said I won't buy my way into being his mom, can I? He didn't take it well. He said I was being cruel and petty, and now he's even saying reconsidering our marriage because he thinks I should put pettiness aside and help Ethan regardless. But I still refuse.
Damn.
Am I in the wrong?
Is this like life-saving surgery or like he got bow-legged or
Well,
something?
shit, they say he's been taking medication for 4 months or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if he's need a kidney transplant or if
pain meds, but
something.
It's affecting him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and live on this ledge today. I've been.
Oh God.
I've been pissing Jay off all day. I might as well continue the rhetoric. Look, man. I don't think you.
He's like 21 too. The kid's grown now.
He's a grown man.
Yeah, because he's 16, 5 years. He's 21.
If you treated me like absolute shit for years and all I did and made fun of me, and now you need me, I might do it. Let me just say that I might, but as of right now, my answer is no.
Yeah.
Like I need an apology.
Yeah.
We need to have a sit down conversation. If I save your life, you need to pay me back. I'll put it to you like this.
We need a payment schedule.
I'm so glad we talked about this because now my third eye is open after the argument.
Okay.
There was a lady that I knew. She gave her sister a kidney.
Okay.
And when she gave her said kidney, the sister was doing well, but kidneys have to take, right? Like organs have to take to your body. So, and even with kidneys, you have to be on medication for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
This mom kind of lost a little bit of flair, right? Let's just say that. You know what I do, so let's just say she lost flair.
Okay.
Right? But then...
After she gave her kidney or after she received a kidney?
This was after she received the kidney. She kind of lost a little flair.
Yes, okay.
And with black people, historically, like high blood pressure running our family, and Latinos too, right? I'd be rethinking like, man, you really need this kidney?
No,
like my kids, yes. But like a friend,
I gotta save it.
Yeah, you got a good life, bro. I got 2 of these.
No, exactly. We gotta save our kidneys.
But she gave it to her sister. She ain't had no kids. She didn't have nothing else. And and her sister, has a child, a young child at that.
Okay.
So she gave her a kidney.
Okay.
And she stopped taking care of herself. And she passed. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I would have, because she didn't take care of herself.
She wasted her kidneys.
That would piss me the fuck off.
Like, low key, yeah. What if my daughter...
Like, I'm sad my sister gone, but like,
Bitch, you wasted my kidneys?
Yeah.
It's like when alcoholics get like a new liver and then they end up drinking again. Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about Ethan right here, it's like, Ethan, if I'm about to give you this money for your surgery and shit, dog, you better get your life right.
No, yeah.
And also, like, I'm King Tut in this bitch. I'm fucking King Tut
You
here.
Report to me.
Hell yeah. Respectfully, though, I ain't gonna make your life a living hell, but you're not gonna make mine
You ain't
either.
wasting my life-saving money surgery.
Yeah, fuck no. Like, and the husband, I feel like that that
man wouldn't be able to take a drink in front of you. Is that good for your health?
No, at all. And then the husband talking about if it was like a wife or something like that in that situation, bye.
Damn.
You can't tell me you can't buy his way into being your mom. You gave me no other solutions, and I'm trying to connect with this young man. But as soon as he hits you up and you're not able to provide for him as his father, you gonna come to me as a stepmom to save? That's crazy work.
I have a friend. I can't mention their name. The mom needed a kid. I don't know if you remember because you were too young.
Mom is talking. She says she had a friend that needed a kidney.
What happened?
So her son didn't give her a kid.
Her son didn't give his mom a kidney?
Did he have a kid?
And then some years later,
he was the only match.
He was homeless.
Oh.
And he came. Well, he called me.
Said he was homeless after a while.
Okay.
And they said, this guy wanted to talk to you. He asked for your phone number. I said, don't give him my phone number. Just give him the number here, and I'll talk to him. And he said, Miss Karen, I don't have nowhere to stay. I have an RV. I was wondering, can I park it on your street? And I said no.
You know why? Because you didn't give your mama no damn kid.
Oh, and the mom died.
Her leg amputated. I don't know if
That's crazy.
Not your mom on the lick back for her friend.
Well, that's what. So my mom said that there was a lady that she knew. Her son was the only match for her to get a kidney. He said no. He became homeless right after. And then he had found my mom over time, like at her job, and asked if he could park his RV on her street. And my mom said no because he didn't give up the kidney. And I feel her.
Me too.
You kind of get what you put in. That's what I'm saying. Like, we was talking about that. Like, I understand I can't come with a certain rhetoric because, like, even when we talking about this, you get what you put into life.
I know, but I would still pay for the.
You would?
Yeah.
See,
I would.
You're Karen
So,
Soul. I love it.
I would. And I don't know if it's because, like, I don't know, maybe I've just been through I've done a lot of bad shit. I've made a lot of bad choices. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've treated people I love terribly. I've said things I should have never said. Like, I've done bad shit. I've been a bad person, I feel like, at times. And I still have received grace and mercy and blessings and forgiveness and that I didn't deserve. So I think that, like, I don't know if that just allows me more, like, remorse or grace for people, but I don't know. That's where I'm at. So, like, even, like, this situation, like, yeah, I'm with you. Fuck this kid. Like, I was over here trying to fucking be friends with you. I offered you.
You doing it without a conversation?
I would, what?
Like you giving him the money?
Well, because I think that, like, it's hard because I feel like in a crisis, sometimes conversations are like, if you're like, it's not an act of unconditional love, right? It is conditional. Like, so, like, I feel like sometimes in a crisis, if you're choosing, like in this situation, if you're choosing to go ahead and give this young man money after he treated you like shit, after your husband kind of dogged you and now he's only coming to you because you're his, the only person he can come to for this, like, I think that, like, putting parameters on it, like, making it conditional is, like, not exactly, like, it's not an act of love then. And then for some people, like, it might not be. Like, I'm giving you this money, like you said, on condition. Right. I think for me, in these kinds of incidences where it's, like, it would truly be an act of love, like, I don't think I would need a conversation at first. I think that, like, me and my husband would have a conversation, absolutely. But I wouldn't require, like, a sit down. This boy is obviously, or this young man is going through, his health is impacted, like, we know what it's like to have health scares or people we love. It's difficult. I think I would definitely have a conversation after, like, so we cool now, nigga? Yeah. We homies?
Everything working in there?
Yeah, can I get a kidney one day? Like, I would absolutely have a follow-up, but,
You know one thing we didn't consider, though?
Huh?
Is that I don't think the young man knows his dad went out and asked the wife.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because he said he asked his dad.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have asked her. He don't fuck with her like that for whatever reason.
And then probably wouldn't want her to hold it over his head.
Exactly. So that's where I think for me it comes down to, like, a marital thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, yes, this young man is grown, but he's still, your child, and now you're my husband. So whether you were asking me to pay for your car to get fixed because you didn't have it, you were asking me to pay to invest in your new business because you didn't have it, like, and now you're asking me to cover, your son's surgery. Like, you're my husband. I love you. I want to support you. That includes supporting your children, even if they're grown, your goals, your dreams. And if I got it, I'm definitely going to give it, right. And of course I will probably, after he's well, be like, yo, just so you know.
You feeling good? You're welcome, motherfucker.
Now, what's that, Dad? What you talking about, Dad?
I be 80% of that is me. Your dad, he only put in a little bit. Yeah, I'm not. You off, not off the. But that's what I'm saying. If you pay me back,
we good.
I ain't gotta say nothing at that point.
Yeah, you're like,
because I would want the money back. Would you want the money back? Or is it a gift?
No, it would be a gift.
20,000?
If I had it, it's a gift.
You better.
Yeah, if I had it.
Look, man, we found out all episodes. Jay is better than me.
No.
Fuck, we found out.
No.
All episodes.
Remember, I'm poor and Carl's rich, so just remember that.
See, that's where the problem. We're all rich in spirit. Okay. Get the fuck out of here with the spirit.
Just remember, I might be ethical, but he's got money.
Oh, my God. We gotta come together. We gotta get the ethics and the money
We're
together.
trying to meet.
Ethics and money is crazy.
We're trying to meet
That's
in the
what I'm
middle.
going. Ethics and money.
Ethics and money.
Ethics and money. We get it. We found it. Oh my God, man.
Oh, Lord.
Damn, man. All right, here we go. We'll do one more and then we get out of here, man. Oh, where my sound at? Oh, there it is.
That's why it's so crazy. All the poor people voted for Trump.
Well, they didn't though. That's the crazy part. Like I feel like some of these. Oh my God, it's so nasty. It's nasty out here for B2 being upper middle class. You see, they ain't gonna let me get that off. Huh? I forgot.
I almost spit out my drink.
I can't be upper middle class. Like,
you're definitely upper middle class. That's what I would consider you.
Okay, there we go. I was about to say.
Yeah.
But
you know the difference. You got that double income. That double income is rich.
Although we did, let me not.
That's rich shit.
Let me relax. On
Yeah,
that.
don't be putting your business out there.
No more dubs
Evil
on
eyes.
this.
Yeah.
Shows to watch. So I watched. It's called Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy. Now my wife said Lex brought this up earlier. I hadn't watched it yet, and so I wasn't able to really get into my bag. But it kind of like really talks about Amazon and consumerism,
fast fashion and
fast fashion. I didn't know, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like certain things, like there's so much information out there and misinformation that I almost wait for docs or I almost wait for like vetted like places to kind of give out information. But like on the shores of Ghana, they just got clothes just like hitting the shores, and that shit just threw me. Now, granted, like I've always been dinged for like the clothes I wear, right? Like it'd be like, oh, you don't dress up, you don't do this. That's because I don't buy clothes. And I don't buy clothes because I never specifically felt like there was an event that I went to that like warranted me to always buy a new outfit.
And you're not someone who, do you feel like you're someone who like, I feel like I express myself a lot through like how I dress and style myself. Is that like something that is...
This might be a wild take, but now that we've talked about it a few times, I'm able to say this. I think I express myself by not buying clothes.
Yeah, so you're like, this is how I
seen like Mark Zuckerberg and them guys dress up like real billionaire. They don't be getting dressed.
But but remember when we had Terrence on?
Yes.
From SD Native. So like they look like in basics, but all of their basics are like $100,000 because they're quality.
Right.
But they're not flashy.
But that's the thing. I'm glad you said that, because part of the problem with consumerism and like and fast fashion is that we don't buy quality clothing that lasts long.
And that's
where the recycle comes in. And I was like, yo, like when I buy clothes, like this shirt that I have is a quality shirt. Like when I buy like my socks and shit, they Nike, so they're
gonna last.
They can last a little longer than like some cheap stuff that I just end up throwing away.
Yeah.
Same thing with shoes. Like I've noticed like when like the reason why like I'm not so big on Jordans anymore is because like all the Jordans that I had that I barely wore, they started falling apart. And like the glue would like come undone. I'm like, yo, these shoes look like I had them for 6 months max. You know what I mean? But now like these shoes are falling apart. The glue, the midsole is coming apart. And then they were also talking about like Apple products. So recently this week, I found out the microphone on my Apple Watch don't work. Oh. But then I've gone to Apple before and they'd be like, oh yeah, we don't fix it. Like we just toss it and then you spend $60 on a new one.
Oh, for the warranty?
But that's bullshit because
damn, that's electronic waste.
They said that we waste anywhere between 15 million electronic devices a day.
A day?
In a world, as the world.
Yeah, still though.
Everybody wants a new upgrade on an iPhone. They want the new upgrade. AirPods, they said that the way they glue them and the batteries are only built to last for like 18 months. After 18 months, you can't crack it open and rechange the battery because Apple glues pieces together so that they make it hard for you to do so.
So that it doesn't come apart, yeah.
And so some of the things that like in case you guys don't watch it, but I gotta
watch this one.
It was pretty good.
What's it called again?
It's called Buy Now, The Shopping Conspiracy.
On Netflix?
Yes. Everything they put on Amazon, the colors and everything, they tested it on people. Like I never knew all of this.
Oh, like the science, the psychological. Well, like that's why McDonald's is red and yellow.
Exactly. So you can see it everywhere.
It's marketing. It's all marketing.
And what you notice, the Amazon button, Buy Now, click button was yellow. Add to cart is yellow, right? They've They wanted us to just keep buying products.
Even
and make
the way
it easy.
websites are designed now, everyone is trying to get you the quickest to like. That's why they have the buy now instead of just add to cart.
Right.
Because what they've noticed is that sometimes when people go to their cart, it will sit in your cart. So they wanted to give people an option to that. It's so fast paced. It's so that way you're spending. The quickest point from transaction, from point to the sale to the transaction.
Yeah, they don't want you to get like your kids call you,
Distract. No,
like,
literally.
get in now, and because you know what's funny, one of the things that they said to fix it was let it sit there for a month. If you need it, absolutely need it after a month, then buy it.
Yep.
But if you don't, then just like let it go.
Yep.
And so I just thought that was interesting, man, because like even me, I've tried to hold on to phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They can make them with bigger capacities. Like I was telling my boy the other day, he was like, "Oh, the biggest iPhone they make is 250." I said, "Bro, what you stuck in like 2015?" I was like, "They make 1,000 terabyte iPhone. I got one for the podcast. This is the one that I use." And I was like, and he was like,
You
"What?"
told me that. Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm about to go get a new phone." He didn't even need a new phone, really. He just had too many pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when
which I think that's why everyone I think gets new phones because
Right.
we don't have enough storage.
And now they
download the shit on a USB.
They'll come out with a 2 terabyte iPhone in 10 years just to because people are going to, overuse that. So, and then they were saying like a lot of the products that we buy are like not built to last from Amazon. They come from cheap manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
They're harmful to the environment. You read the stickers on the back of like milk cartons and all those places. They don't get recycled. I was at a party, my boy's son's party, and he was like, the mom was like, "Oh, is anyone going to recycle?" And I'm sitting here thinking like she just don't know. You know what I mean? Like the shit don't matter when they come pick this shit up. They take it to the same landfill. Most of the stuff that says it's recyclable isn't because there's not a lot of policy on it.
Exactly.
And so they don't go and check places like Amazon, and Amazon goes and does what white people do, right? When we talk about that, they build a facility in Mexico.
Yep.
But then they gonna kick all these people out and they're gonna go back, and then they got to go back to these these
pollute
towns.
that motherfucker. Put
It's crazy. You're right. That's what I'm saying. That shit crazy. Like when I think about it, man, I be just sitting there like fuck. But
it's like the consumerism is insane. I think that it's hard because there's so many gadgets and there's so many things that you can have now. Like there's like 20,000 kitchen gadgets.
Right.
Like I like them. I'm not. If I had money, I might have a bunch.
I seen how you can chop up shit too.
Dude, there's everything. Blenders, ice makers. You can do it different. There's so many things, but
I got my mom. My mom, you just said it. Blender. She got an ice maker. Yeah. She got the popcorn machine in there. Make shit easy.
You can make popcorn in the microwave.
We got more ovens and shit now than we ever had, right? She got a pressure cooker.
Right. It's the air fryer.
Air fryer.
I love our air fryer.
I know.
Like, so,
they don't last long
they don't. I've been through 2 already since air fryers came out. Literally. I did get my first one from a garage sale and my second one from Goodwill. So, shout out to me. But, that's because, again, I'm broke.
But at least you picked it up from a place that it got used, though.
And exactly. And I think that's the other thing. We're always, again, convenience. You can go to, I go thrifting all the time.
Right.
I saw some brand new, literally, I always look at the bottom of the shoe. That's how you know how, worn out it is.
Right.
They were probably worn, what were they? Were they J's? I saw a pair of J's. I saw a pair of Marc Jacob or whatever, different high-end shoes that were all, brand new. $20.
That's crazy.
$20 for a pair of Jordans. $30 for a pair of Marc Jacobs sandals or something.
That was only $10 to make at the time.
Exactly. So it's but people don't want to go. So my point to that is, instead of going to the name brand store and buying that, people don't want to go to the thrift store and look and wait through. They want to go quick. They want to go convenient. I think for people like me, which I don't have that luxury a lot of times. So I might just be more sustainable because of my life circumstances and just always growing up with a lack. So for me, going to the thrift stores, going to garage sales, going looking secondhand, looking used, was just a necessity.
Right.
That's the way I was conditioned to shop. And so it makes it, I think, easier for me now as an adult and also wanting to be more mindful that like I'm not so quick for like convenience.
And that's the hard part too, because I feel like, I be feeling like Lex on the last day shit, where like we putting harmful plastics. That thing's still cold or not?
No, I'm a.
Yeah, where Lex is talking about like the harmful plastics and everything, man. Like I just, all that stuff swimming up on shore, man. Is definitely weird. Any new shows you watching or anything like that, or anything that you've seen?
So I finally, never seen it before, finally got into Love Island. Do you watch Love Island? Can we talk? Are we gonna fight? Can we talk about this?
No, we're not gonna fight.
Okay.
I
know you and wifey watch Love Island.
I got
you
to
love these
episode
kind of
14
shows.
and I just couldn't anymore.
Okay. Oh my! I think is that when they did the house, the Casa house, Amora house.
This is right before. How far are you?
I'm right, like, and I'm over it. I'm at right when they brought 6 new people in and separated them into two different houses, Casa Amora.
They kicked the black dude off the show already.
Huda's boyfriend?
Yes.
Yes.
So I got right before, because I read up on it, because I could see it coming. And I was like, nah, we ain't going to.
Does my shit look more swollen?
Jay got stung by a bee.
Wait, am I tripping or does it?
It does a little bit.
Dude, look at it next to my foot.
That's crazy. You might want to go get that looked at.
I might need to go to urgent care because look at my ankle now.
Is it stinging?
It's stinging, yeah.
Yep, Jay, you might need to go take that in.
Bro, look at my fucking ankle. I don't, like, this is my ankle normally.
That's it.
There's bones. Look at my ankle.
The ankle part is still, it's that foot part right there.
Right here, huh?
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, you want to cut this short?
No, man. I'm going to have to go in the morning after I take my kids.
Yeah, you might want to go tonight.
You think?
In the morning going to be even worse.
Because I have to go to the emergency room right now.
It might need to elevate, but they might need to give you a shot. For sure.
Okay. I don't know.
Or some type of medication. Or
maybe I should. I don't know.
Was it that swollen last time?
I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago. But I just know that it looks...
You don't have any like trouble breathing or nothing, right?
No, and I don't have any allergies to anything. I think it's just... I think the venom is just kind of working its way
how
through.
long did it take you to get the stinger out?
It took a few minutes because like I...
Oh, but you did it in minutes, not like an hour.
No.
They tell you to get it out. It's probably...
No. I like dropped immediately.
We might have some Benadryl here. I'll see if I get some once we wrap up.
Okay, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm not.
But yeah, Hood is too much for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's that bad. I think all the cast members are just weird. I don't feel like nobody's really there to find love.
Really?
They feel like a lot of this feels transactional.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like all like the mind games they play with them. When they made them vote their friends off that first time, remember like when it was Huda, Chris, the white guy with the accent, and Taylor, the black guy.
The white dude with the accent.
And that was the first time they like told them they had to like, vote somebody off, and they were like devastated, crying. I cried. Like I could tell they were genuinely like upset. And then I don't like how it's produced. I think my problem is less with the people and more with like...
I think that they should never they rigged the game to where like Jeremiah like got out of there when he shouldn't have.
Yeah, that was... I don't know why they got rid of him.
But people said like the show changed a lot after that. I'm not going back to watch it. Like we literally had a crucial conflict today, and I was like, I'd rather watch like the new F1 movie, and we did, because I was like, there's nothing on TV right now.
Yeah,
like, the Angels played earlier. I'm not a Padre fan. They played late. I was like, I'm not gonna watch this, man. I think
like when because it's so hard to keep up with the couples and the relationships too. Like I'm like, I just started getting kind of invested into these couples and these people.
They kiss each other all day long, too.
They all kiss each other? I mean, the game is kind of... I have a few times... I had it on and my oldest walked in and she was like, Mom, what are you watching?
Spitting each other's mouth and shit.
The milk? They're spitting the milk in each other's mouths. But Alondria's booty. Oh, my goodness. Did you see when they brought Meg on?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I watched all... That was the last episode I seen. And then I read up on the rest and I was like... And then there's like 20 episodes. I was like, I'm not doing
It's
all
so
this.
long. Yeah, no, I'm out. I think I might put it on like in the background and let it play through.
I just want to see the end. And if there's 9 new people at the end, I'll be like, I'm glad I never watched this.
Yeah, that's why I can't.
It's like worse than Game of Thrones in terms of like killing off main characters.
That's how I felt. I'm like, who are these brand new 12 girls and guys? I don't know them.
I'm not even connected.
And I don't want to know them.
Yeah, I'm not even invested anymore.
Yeah, I did start also watching The Ultimatum. It's the queer version though, so it's all lesbians.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever watched? I like The Ultimatum.
They got a queer version?
Yes.
I might be in for that.
Yeah, it's all ladies.
The gay version I'm not into. Because the gay men too sassy for me.
Oh, I've never seen the gay men version.
I don't know if they got it, but if they had one, I'll be telling my my other boy, I'll be like, look, man, you too sassy today.
Yeah,
like, you got to calm it down.
I think that's all I've been watching. Yeah.
That's good. That's all that's on TV right now. But we definitely filled in a need for those that have been watching it. I'm out. I can't do it. Like
I think I'm out too.
It to me, like the real world to me was like fire, and now they just keep like making it extreme. When I know that now at the end that this is still a game and people are getting money, there's no genuine love in here.
Yeah.
And they got Jeremiah out because I think he really liked Huda.
I think he did too.
She was moving a little fast.
Yeah, no, she was. But I think he also kind of gaslit her a little bit. Your guys' favorite was not gaslit her, JK. I think he led her on.
To what?
Like, I think he made it seem like he really liked her. And they fucked. And then that's why no girl gets that.
How you know they did?
Because she told the other girls.
Oh, later on.
Yeah, she says it like in a few episodes. She says like we had sex.
That's why she was acting like that.
So yeah, so like that's what she kept saying. Like,
I also understand his crucial conflict as someone who dated a woman with a child of like, can I do this?
Yeah, no, I get that too. I mean, I think that when I saw, let me say this real quick. I will say that like how you grow up definitely contributes to how you show up in relationships. So like when Huda or can contribute if you don't learn or rectify or grow or heal. Because when Huda was going off, when she was mad and she was like, fuck you, like, he's a fucking bitch, and she kept going off, like, I'm not gonna lie, at first I wasn't like so flabbergasted at that, and then when the other, like I was like, damn, she's, especially in front of everybody calling him out like that, like I don't know if that's the right move, but it still wasn't so like, oh my goodness. But then when I heard the other cast members talking about it, and even on like the little, after show when they regroup, they were like, she was like verbally abusing him. She was using abusive verbal language.
Kind of crazy.
And it is like, and I'm like, oh, like when you grow up in abuse or you've been in like an abusive relationship, you almost normalize that kind of behavior. It's like, oh yeah, she's just crashing out. She's mad. Her feelings are hurt. She's just crashing out. When it's like, actually, no. In a healthy relationship, like, or as a healthy person, you should never be disrespecting your partner to that level. Obviously, we're all going to have our moments. We're going to have our scenes. I know I've had my moments, like, but I'm like, obviously, but let's be real. Like, but I think like as we're progressing, like realizing, and as we're teaching our children and us that are single and dating again, like, no, it's actually really toxic to fucking cuss and scream and degrade, and especially like call a man a bitch.
What got me was that she thought he was gonna walk through that door after all that.
I thought he was too.
And he might have not really liked that girl, but he was like, look, man, I'm going to play it safe because I don't want to be with you.
I don't want to deal with this. And so although like I do feel like maybe she crashed out because she was maybe strung along a little bit more, I do think that
I think he genuinely liked her.
I think so too.
I just think that she kept finding, like the pancake shit.
Yeah.
I get the point, but then the attitude of it was like, yo, it's day 2.
No, and that's what he said. Like I listened to a podcast that he went on, a podcast of a recap of a podcast he went on. And they were saying that he said the night before that pancake episode that they had a long conversation about how he showed up in relationships, that he said he was someone after 8 months though, like, that he buys flowers, he goes above and beyond. He said he didn't clarify to her that like that was when he was in an actual like relationship, but that he felt like she expected him immediately the next day to be giving to be showing her all the things he says, how he shows up in a relationship.
Which he can't win from because the cast members were mad because he had chose
And that's
her.
what he said. He was like, I felt like they were mad because I was not chatting with other people. But then, like, when I was trying to talk to Iris, they were, like, saying, like, I just basically said, fuck Huda. Like, so, I mean.
You can't win from losing.
I will say, like, and in the podcast, they said that he was very respectful of Huda. Like, he stood up for himself, and he said, like, there were times he wished he would have stood up for himself to her, but he wasn't dragging her. I'll give him that. He wasn't like, fuck her. She's, he was, like, saying what happened, his truth, and also taking some accountability. So, I mean, I think he deserved to be there longer. I think they were hating.
Absolutely.
So.
Let's get you out of here so you can make a decision about that foot.
Bro, I think I'm going to call the Kaiser nurse line.
Oh, man. Just to be safe, man. Just to be safe. I don't need you.
I'm like, what's the worst thing? Let me ask
I need you to go talk to the personalized Dr. J. If you'll get the hell up out of here. Do both. Do both. We can live with. Again, we're going to do both today. We're doing both. We're doing both. We're doing both, all right? We're going to watch, and then we're going to advocate. We're going to watch that foot, but we're going to advocate for it. You know what? We're going to do both. 3 cheers. Anything you got?
3 cheers to Carl for being able to handle my attitude and sassiness.
It's a normal Monday through Friday for me.
I don't got nothing besides cheering
wife
you on.
included. No, wife included. It's normal Monday through Friday. I gotta navigate. Yeah, I said on here, I had like, what do you think your biggest strength was? And the funny part is given the tone of this like whole pod, I'm debating on if I want either one of us going out like this without me doing a crazy edit. But I said, my ability to make light of a situation even when it's really tough. And I was like, I'm really flexing my skills today.
Yes, you
I'm really
are.
trying to hit a hard pivot.
Yeah. And even through the resistance of my pivoting, because I wasn't letting you go.
Hell no, she wasn't trying.
I was like, we in it now, nigga. We in it. We in it now. You ain't going nowhere.
We here, man.
I'm Huda, blocking the door. You can't walk out.
Because I said it too. I was like, yo, she acting like straight Huda right now. It's cool. I'm glad you said it. I thought of it. I was going to tell the joke. I was like, too soon.
I just told y'all.
I told myself.
I'm working on my toxicity.
Too soon.
I see Huda. I see myself.
He was like,
said,
go ahead,
shit.
girl. Whatever he did.
And then I was like, then when all the other people was talking about it, they was like, that's not normal. That's not right.
It
I
really
was like,
ain't. Because I was like, yo, the way she calling him a bitch is crazy.
I was like, you know what? They're right.
Yeah. Maybe that shouldn't happen.
Maybe that is not how.
Oh, man. Nah, I was like, yo, that's crazy.
In front of everybody calling him a bitch. That's because there's like one thing don't call a man a bitch.
Yeah,
especially a black man, especially in front of people.
That ain't gonna work for me.
Not at all.
I don't got nothing else. 3 cheers. I don't have nothing to cheer. But like I said, it's ugly times right now, man. I got very, very low morale. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, Drake came out with a new song. I don't need to talk about that. That's not even on the 3 cheers. That just had me thinking because of what I'm playing. We out.